are you listening to right now that you really like?
I've been wearing out Marcus King band. I got to meet him over the CMA, so.
What was your opening line?
Oh, I think I just like the classic fanboy line where I was like, hey, Marcus, man, dude, I'm a huge fan.
Hey friends, it's your girl Emily Curl here in our iHeartRadio studio in New York City, and zooming in with us, we have country music artist Jordan Davis. Hi Jordan, good morning, thanks for being here.
Morning, thank y'all so much for hanging with me.
First and foremost, congratulations, your new album Bluebird Days is out now. I have to say, this was such a fun album to get to listen to and prep for this. How are you feeling having this project out into the world?
I feel great. It's always, you're kind of anxious releasing new music, but I'm really proud of this collection of songs. I feel like I accomplished the goal of what we wanted to do with this new record. I think my fans are going to really gravitate to it, and I think new fans as well will like it. I wanted to show growth as a songwriter and an artist, so I feel like me and Paul and my team did that.
You're coming off of a big year, 2022. You win Song of the Year at the CMA Awards for Buy Dirt. Did your life change after that? How did it, go approaching new music after you have such a big momentum like that?
Yeah, I think it changes a lot. I think you kind of have a weight on your shoulder to kind of live up to that. And I feel like the first couple writes I had, I was kind of trying to rewrite Buy Dirt or have this impactful song and hopefully you want to get it as big as Buy Dirt was. And I think it took me kind of realizing like, hey, that was special, but I'm not going to write that song every time I sit down to write. So once I kind of got that in my head, I kind of, got the weight off my shoulders and was able to kind of go in and have fun and just write songs. So it definitely changed my life a little bit in the sense of it took a little while to get there.
I mean, you're a songwriter by trade. I thought it was interesting that you recorded this album exactly 10 years moving to Nashville. And they say Nashville's a 10-year town. Was there ever a point in that time where you realized you'd be here where you are? And did you ever almost give up on the dream?
Yeah, a couple times.
Really?
I think early on, it took me, and I'm right there with, I think Nashville is a 10-year town. And that's quick. Like, cause if I'm making my second album in 10 years, like I'm one of these super lucky guys that, gets to town and gets to do that. But 4 years in, I was waking up every day, writing 5 days a week. Songs were going nowhere, and then going and bartending every night. And I got to a point where I was tired of it. I was sick of it, and I wanted to go home and get a job. And I had a lot of great people around me at the time that were like, look, man, give it one more year. So I gave it another year, and it didn't work out again. I wanted to go home, and then finally things started kind of picking up. You need a little bit of adversity to kind of drive you to get better. And I think that's all that was. And I honestly don't think that I'd be where I'm at today if I didn't have those two almost pack up and go home moments.
So you're from New Orleans, and we kind of give a shout out on the album to that. You went to LSU, you have a degree in environmental science, which I thought was really interesting. So if you weren't making music, what do you think you'd be up to right now?
Oh, I'd probably be working an environmental job, either in Baton Rouge or somewhere in South Louisiana. You'd probably working in oil and gas. So, it's crazy to think like, even like you saying that, it's like, oh yeah, I did go to school and do that, because it just feels like I've had so much going on in Nashville. It's still a passion of mine. It's still something that I keep up with, and I try to roll that into anytime I can help in the environmental field, as far as like organizations I work with through music. It's still something I love and I am passionate about. But I can honestly say this: I'm having much more fun playing music than I would be working on an oil rig somewhere. So I'm happy with where I'm at.
But you do give a little shout out in the album to New Orleans, Sunday Saints, which immediately, I love this song, and you're a big Saints fan too, right?
Oh yeah, that's actually the first time. So the first thing I thought of when I heard that title my brother gave me, I was like, man, we got to write something. We got to have something about the Saints in there. Sundays in New Orleans or something. I don't think we got there, but I think the juxtaposition with the Saturday Sinners, Sunday Saints. That's a really passionate, or a song that I love a lot, and I'm a diehard Saints fan. But actually, my favorite part of that song, and really one of my favorite parts of the record, is when the Saints come marching in at the end of that one. So anytime I get to write a song, my brother is awesome. But what's crazy is I wrote that with a guy named Benji Davis, that all through college and high school, he had a band in Baton Rouge called the Benji Davis Project. So I spent a lot of money going and seeing Benji Davis Project. So it's cool to kind of full circle that back to where
Wow.
he's got a song on my album now. So it's pretty cool.
Let's go back to the album for a second, because you open with the track Damn Good Time. And I'll be honest, the entire album felt like a damn good time. And you give a little ode to your songwriting country music community. Have you built a big community here in Nashville?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I do. I hope they feel the same way, but I feel like I've definitely cultivated a good group of songwriters, guys that I love to work with and guys that push me to be better. I love walking into a songwriting room and feeling like I've got to prove myself. Like I'm the least talented one in there. I feel like as I look through the track listing and the writers on the songs that I'm a writer on, man, that's exactly what it was on all that. You know, I thought I kind of had to show up and really go to work. And I think through that, you know, you create some pretty tight bonds with songwriters, and country music communities, we pull for each other, or at least I do. This is our job. So if somebody doesn't have success, everybody's got families and everybody's got bills. So, you know, you pull for everybody for that. You know, you don't want to see anybody struggle on that end.
Totally. Who are you listening to right now that you really like?
I've been wearing out Marcus King band. Marcus King is like one of the most talented. It was cool. I got to meet him over the CMA. So
Oh yeah?
that was like my fanboy moment of the night. So we did. Yeah, Marcus King has been, his Carolina Confessions record is, man, I haven't taken it off for a couple months now.
What was your opening line when you walked up to him?
Oh, I think I just like the classic fanboy line where I was like, "Hey, Marcus, man, dude, I'm a huge fan." You know, like
It's always a
didn't
good way.
introduce
Can't go
myself,
wrong.
like, you know, it's like nothing. You know, it was like a quick interaction. And then I saw him again at an after party. And from what I remember, because the night got hazy after they announced Song of the Year.
As it should.
We cheers to drink together, and I probably told him I was a big fan again and repeated the exact same thing I said the first time. If I did, Marcus, I'm sorry, man. But yeah, just love your music.
We'll send him this clip. But you talk about being a songwriter, and one in particular, namesake of the album, Bluebird Days. This is a personal story from your life. Can you tell us a little bit about the meaning behind this one and why you wanted to share it?
Yeah, I wrote that about about my experience going through my parents' divorce and then now being a dad. I wrote it with my brother, Chris LaCourte, and Josh Dorr. So Josh was the first guy I moved into a house with in Nashville right when I moved in 2012. Obviously, my brother's been there with me since I was born. It was really cool that Chris kind of jumped in and was willing to go there. Josh has known about my parents' story, and obviously my brother has too. So, it's something that I've wanted to write about, and I think it took me having kids of my own and kind of seeing that kind of raise its head again, and kind of going back to what I said about being honest. I feel like that's about as honest as you can get.
The first time you played it for your family, what was their reaction?
Oh, I actually wasn't in the room when that happened. So, and I'm very grateful that I wasn't. My sister played that. We were driving around and I knew that song was coming up, so I actually pulled in. I was like, "Hey, I got to run in here and grab something real fast." And so I kind of got out of the car and
Like gone for 4 minutes exactly.
Yeah, just so happened to be gone for that whole song. I don't think I drug anybody through the mud on that. It's just kind of my experience of what it was, and kind of what it's going to be for my kiddos. But yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
I mean, it's a beautiful song. And then you also have some other bangers on there. I've got to talk about I've Had No Time Soon on repeat. That is immediately one of my faves.
That's a total opposite of Bluebird Days.
It is. It was like, but I like the back and forth. I love No Time Soon. Money Isn't Real was another one. What My World Spins Around. I mean, you've got some really amazing tracks on this album. I'm so excited for you. If you had to choose one that you feel like you're most excited for your fans to hear, maybe right now, because it's probably like choosing a child, but right now, what's the top of that list?
The song Tucson Too Late is a song that I feel like I've never really done before. I feel like I've, always talked about those influences like John Prine and Chris Christopherson and Keith Whitley. This is a song that I feel like really shows that. I've never done a song like this, even from a production standpoint, and then just the story of it. It's a total story song that kind of came off of listening to Miami. Wrote it with Jacob, Matt, and Josh, a group that we've been writing songs together for a long time. So I think this one, that Tucson Too Late is the song for me that I really want people to check out.
Well, Jordan, congratulations on the album. It really is so good. I truly had so much fun prepping for this interview. So thanks for sharing this with us, and I can't wait for all your fans to hear it.
Absolutely, Emily. Thank you so much.
Of course. Good to see you. And for everyone watching, make sure you go check out his new album, Bluebird Days. It's out now on iHeartCountry, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Thanks, Jordan.